Today is Monday the 14th of September and today is a good day because I've received my new action camera, which means I can start vlogging with this one. I also received the USB-C / 3.5mm adapter so I can add an external mic to it. And then I've also got the camera cage or the housing for it, plus this like giant mount kit, which I think I already showed you. And apparently today I'm also going to be receiving a spare battery, a LED light for it, and a micro SD card. So I will then have pretty much everything I've ordered for this camera. The only thing I'll be waiting on will be the little external microphone, which apparently might take another couple of weeks. I do have a microphone I can test it with, so and I can also test the inbuilt audio. I'm pretty sure it's going to look, and I'm not sure about sound, but look better than this camera that I'm currently vlogging on. If I know it doesn't look so bad when I'm so far away, but this is sort of where it feels natural to hold this and not be painful, and you don't get much of my, you know, my body and everything, and it's just my face here. Anyway, yay! Ow! Worth it! I thought I might give Zoe another toy today, so this is one of the new ones that's apparently really durable, and it has a squeaker inside, so it's a squeaky ball, but only when she bites it really hard, so hopefully she'll like it. I also meant to mention the other day when I went shopping with Mum, I got this piece of plastic sheeting, like it's all folded up at the moment, for 95 cents. Now the piece that goes from here to here and flops over either side, that cost me like $20 a few months ago when I ordered it. Given delivery was like $8 or whatever, but I wanted to have something to have all the drips of the resin go on. And yeah, now I have an extra bit because obviously this part is just a plastic bag and this is longer, like although this was for something wider, that part's not covered. So 95 cents and I got myself some extra plastic sheeting. Yay. Everything's arrived. I've got my micro SD card, I've got my spare battery, and I have my newer LED light. So I can get in and give it a try now. I've currently got it on charge. But yeah, excited. What an absolute pain. I'm trying to get the lens cover off, and I know that people have struggled with this. Mine seems to be extra tight. I have tried using this Tupperware remover, which is like a really grippy rubber. I've tried using this jar opener, which once again, you've got rubber and you've got something to grip onto. I've tried 3 pairs of gloves. My pliers, they don't go wide enough to get around the lens, and neither does my wrench. Is it a wrench? Sorry, I don't really know my tools that well. But I can't get it off, and I want to get it off now while it's got the protective cover on it so I don't risk damaging it because it's so super tight, and until I've got the cover off I can't do any filming with it. So I'm kind of stuck right now. I'm almost at the point that I'm going to drive around to Bunnings and like ask one of the people in the tool section, is there anything that you can recommend to open this, and see if they'll just like grab a pair of larger pliers and I'll take this with me or whatever. So I cover it over and sort of protect it because this does grip onto it. But I don't know whether it's my hand strength or something, but I just can't get it. It's just and I've tried rubber bands as well, which aren't as good as this anyway. What a pain. I don't want to give up being able to possibly put some ND filters on here in the future. So yeah, I don't know what else to do. Maybe a Bunnings trip is in the works. Bunnings staff are awesome. got it loosened up, so yay! Now I can go ahead and test out, and you know, like they just are so great. Everyone I've ever run into at Bunnings, they are just so willing to help, and I ended up buying a 3-piece mini pliers set. It's just the cheap brand for my jewelry resin making stuff. I wanted some long nose ones, so this has that plus a couple of small ones, and I got myself a 250mm multi-grip pliers, because who knows when I need a wider pair of pliers again, because I know this isn't the first time I've run into it where my pliers haven't been wide enough to do the job. So there we go, $10 down, but I've got my camera sorted, and he did that for free for me anyway. I didn't have to buy the pliers. I just thought, I'm in here, I'll get them. So let's go home now and get some testing done. Yay! Hi, welcome to today's video. I have just purchased myself a DJI Osmo Action, as well as a bunch of accessories to go with it. I'm very excited to try this out. I'm hoping this can be my new little vlogging camera. I'm currently using my Samsung S9 phone for vlogging, so I'm very excited to try this, have a comparison between this and my current vlogging setup. But also I have my DSLR at the moment filming. It's a Nikon D5500. And I also have an Insta360 currently in its case. So I would like to do a little comparison of all 4 of those cameras just to see the different qualities. Now, I have seen a lot of reviews on this one, and I know that the audio quality isn't the best, but I'm hoping it's not the worst. That being said, I have purchased a Sonova, I think it was, audio adapter. So this one plugs in, and you can use the standard 3.5mm adapter here to plug in a microphone. Now, the microphone unfortunately hasn't arrived yet. It's still going to be a couple of weeks, but I do have this little lav mic that I bought off of Wish like ages ago, and it's pretty decent with my phone. I'm wondering whether it will work with this, being that it's a TRRS connector. The mic I purchased is a Boya BY-MM1, so I'm excited for that to get here. I've seen some reviews and that seems like it's going to be really good, but it will be interesting to see how I find it for me. Now, another purchase I made was a PGY-Tech housing for it, so that the Sonova adapter can be fitted into the camera, because on the standard mount, you don't have that gap to fit it in. Then I also got myself a little light. This is a Neewer SL12 mini square LED light, and that's just for a bit of additional lighting at nighttime, because from the reviews it's not the best in low light situations. That came with a few filters and a little cute bag that's made out of like diving material. Feels really nice. I bought this one, a spare battery, because you know how important it is to have a spare. I might actually buy a second spare as well, and maybe a little charging unit. And then I bought the Neewer mount kit, which has so many mounts. So enough talking, let's give this stuff a try. Quickly, let's remove these protective filters. So I currently have the Osmo Action set at 4K 30, the Insta360 set at 5.7K 30, and the front-facing camera on my S9 is set at 1440p. I will try the rear camera in just a second. Let's do a little bit of an audio test here. So let's test the audio from the Osmo Action, the audio from the S9, and the audio from the Insta360, and now compared to my Zoom H4n audio source that's connected to my DSLR. And now let's go back to the Osmo Action. What are we thinking about with this audio here? Now I'm going to swap around to the rear camera, which is at 4K 30 on my S9. Okay, and here's the comparison of this video. Now, I would like to note that on these high video settings on the S9, you do not get stabilization, so it's not good if you're holding the camera and moving around. So usually I have it set on a lower setting than this, which I will quickly show you. So I now have the rear camera set to 1080p, and the front camera is also set to 1080p. but I'll turn it around and show you that front camera. Here's the front camera at 1080p. So I think you'll see a bit of a difference there. Now the last thing to test is the audio through the Osmo Action with this little lav mic. Let's see whether it improves it or makes it worse, if it even works. Well, this isn't looking great. I may have to insert audio from another source because this doesn't look like it's working with the adapter. Now, there's apparently meant to be a little microphone symbol. It's not showing up. So I think I might have to wait till I get my little external mic that I bought for this in particular to test this. I can quickly show you what this mic sounds like on my phone, which is what it's meant for. Okay, so you should be able to hear the lav, and sorry, my puppy's playing at the moment. She's loud. Probably not a good time to do an audio test, but here's the little lav mic into my phone. And I think that's, oh, I can show you the light. I can show you how this little light looks before we finish up and call it a day. Here we go, there is the little light on its lowest setting. We can turn it up. It's really powerful. That's on the third setting, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So that's as bright as it gets, and honestly I think that's gonna give enough light. Anything then, I saw a little bit of light flashing, so I don't know whether that has come through on this recording. There's no way I would need it to be on this setting. I highly doubt anyway. When I'm wanting to vlog, it's way too bright. I think almost like just one of the lower levels would be enough to give you a little bit of extra light in low light situation. You see, is that flickering on the screen? It's now stopped. I don't know. But that'll be handy, I think. I'm gonna say on this tripod, this is like no, because it's just falling everywhere. It doesn't want to stay with the extra weight from the light. The light flickering is happening regardless of whether this light is on or not. Maybe it's from my overhead lights, but it's not happening on the other cameras, so who knows. What I've got in front of me cost me $600. The mic cost another $50. So it wasn't like a cheap investment. This is Australian dollars that I'm talking in, but I'm hopeful that it'll all be worth it to have this little camera as my vlogging camera. I think from seeing other people use it, it's a pretty good all-rounder. The only thing that it's sort of lacking on is its rock steady is not as good as the GoPro Hero 8 stabilization, but I'm not planning to do all that much like mountain biking and that sort of thing with it. I will be doing mostly just, you know, vlogging with it, just walking around. So I think the Rocksteady is good enough for that, for sure. Just gonna try a little comparison out in more daylight. The sun's starting to go down, so this isn't great daylight vibes, but I was noticing that the footage from the Osmo Action didn't look that great. I'm wondering whether it was a firmware update thing, because I realized I hadn't completed that. Oh, currently it's moved me to 1080p 30. Let me change that. Okay, now we're looking at 4K 30 on the Osmo Action versus 1080p on the front-facing Samsung S9 camera. So how's that looking? I hope there's no grain, otherwise I might have a faulty one. Maybe it was the firmware update though. Let's check the light out. Got to, I think it's 5. There we go. Okay, let's go review this footage. Here I'm shooting in my dark hallway. I have the colors set to D-Cinelike, and my current settings are 4K at 30 frames per second with a shutter speed of 1/30th and an ISO of 800, and my Niwa light is currently on 3. So how is the noise looking in this shot? You know, I do feel like I'm a bit washed out when it's up this close, but it'd be interesting to see once it's in the computer. This is a fully dark hallway here. Compared to light off, that's the current brightness. Here I am, and here I am now. So maybe even could go, I like 3, I think. I'm looking at it like this, and obviously you can color grade after the fact, but this is a good little light. Hopefully the footage looks alright. Right now I'm in my office where I film like all my live streams, either at my computer, at my piano, and I currently have some lights set up. So I have this softbox up here, and I have this ring light over here. And I just thought I would see what the difference is in this sort of setting, you know, like obviously it adds a lot of light to my face. And we can turn that one off, turn this one off. This is just artificial light in this room. So now I've adjusted the shutter speed to 1/60th and the ISO to 400. So I don't know, I'll have to look at the footage and see what this looks like. But on the tiny little screen, it looks all right, but that seems to be the problem. Like it can look all right on there, then I put it on the computer, I'm like, disappointing. So today's gone by in a blur again. Tried to figure out the settings as best I could, and I've just been editing tonight the last August vlog, so that's going up the 14th, pretty much the 15th of September. So it's taken me a long time, but I did end up making like 8 videos, and most of them were over 10 minutes long. So yeah, I'm thinking now that maybe I get started on the September ones and start posting them, like posting more regularly before the month has even ended, so I can maybe catch up a bit. I am trying to take on a bit more of a fast approach to my editing so that it doesn't take as long, and I can get them up quicker, but also I don't waste as much time on the editing process because I don't have time to give. But I really enjoy doing this, and yeah, they still seem to be watched a little bit, even though not as much as my music stuff, but yeah. Anyway, end of the 14th of September.